You ready?
Then all this is.
Kevin?
My mother was raised there. When the place had before that. And
All right, please. County legislative meeting, now in session, all need having business for the county court, give attention, you'll be heard. God save his state, United States. Mr. Howard, would you pass the blessing, please, sir?
Our Father in heaven, we thank you for the opportunity to gather today to do the county's budget, the business of the county. We ask that you watch over all of us and help us to make decisions that will improve the people's lives within this county. Amen.
Amen. Lord, you can do the pledge of allegiance for us, sir?
Yes, sir. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and proceed, please.
The Houston County Legislative meeting is called to order. Roll call vote, Mr. Brown.
William Agee.
Here.
Stephanie Smith. Randall French.
Here.
Steve Hall. Glenn Baggett.
Here.
Jonathan Floyd.
Yes, sir.
Darrell Kingsville.
Here.
Howard Spurgeon.
Here.
Vicky Reedy.
Here.
Gene Tolley.
Here.
Garrett Mathis. Fred Richardson.
Here.
Carter Carey.
Here.
Robert Parchman. You have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next on agenda approval, please. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll second.
Motion by Randall and second by Floyd. Any discussion on the agenda? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we need a minutes approval, please. A motion.
So moved.
Howard and Randall. Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor of minutes approval?
Aye.
Opposed? Next on the agenda, we got notaries renewal. We got Tasha Boone, Laura Mills, and Weston Mitchell. Can I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve all three.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed? Under old business here, the number one is your Parks and Recreation update. Grant match for the National Guard Armory. If we can get a commitment from the commission for that.
Make a motion that we approve the match for the National Guard Armory.
Second.
In the amount of
$200,000.
200,000. Okay. This all depends on whether we get the armory or not. We're still trying. We hope we get it. Any discussion on this?
This is money that you done got approved through the grant, right?
That's not right. No. We've got, we don't know if we're even gonna get the armory yet. He's submitting the grant Wednesday, and he has to have a commitment that we will, if match 200,000. Or you can match whatever you want to, but the more, 200 is gonna get you 400 in renovations if you get the armory. Any other discussion on that? Let's do a roll call vote on this.
William Agee.
Yes.
Stephanie Smith. Randall French.
Yeah.
Steve Hall. Glenn Baggett.
Yes.
Jonathan Floyd.
Yes.
Darrell Kingsville.
Yes.
Howard Spurgeon.
Yes.
Vicky Reedy.
Yes.
Gene Tolley.
Yes.
Garrett Mathis, Fred Richardson,
Yes.
Carter Carey,
Yes.
Robert Parchman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
This money will not come out until the 25 budget year. Like I said, they're saying it'll probably be first of the year before we hear from the grant, if we get it. Number 2 on here, you got your health department capital improvement project update. You got your language term of agreement and contract, and your rate schedule removed verbiage concerning water project. Can I get a motion on that?
Yeah.
Who made the motion?
Second.
Second by Howard. Any discussion on the health department grant?
When are they supposed to start? Have they already started?
They've already started. They've already done part of it on this is not on the big one, this is on the smaller one.
How much was we gonna have to match on this one?
I'm sorry?
How much was we gonna have to match on this one?
Oh,
There's no match on this one.
I don't think it was any match at all. Other one, the big one we do. But it's like a $460,000 or $70,000 on it. This is a small, it's like $63,000. Do a roll call vote, Mr. Brown, please.
Ready?
Yeah.
William Agee,
Yeah.
Stephanie Smith, Randall French,
Yes.
Steve Hall, Glenn Baggett,
Yes.
Jonathan Floyd,
Yes.
Darrell Kingsville,
Yes.
Howard Spurgeon,
Yes.
Vicky Reedy,
Yes.
Gene Tolley,
Yes.
Garrett Mathis, Fred Richardson,
Yes.
Carter Carey,
Yes.
Robert Parchman. Motion passed.
Motion passed. Under new business, we got some recognition of services tonight. I think Sheriff Suggs wants to come on up first. Kevin, you do yours.
Thank you, Mayor. We are glad to be here tonight. I know this man here is me too, is Sheriff Allison. And Sheriff Barnes is gonna be here tonight. He had a fire engagement, was not able to make it. But tonight we've come, lately I got to speak at the archives, and very good program. We very well thank y'all for letting us do that. There's nothing in archives from any of the sheriffs up until now. And this book has been presented, I was the third one to come see get this book. It was wrote by a gentleman and his wife. She passed away last year with cancer. And that was her last wishes, to have this book completed. It goes back 150 years. There's only 4 of us in Houston County, still alive, of course. Tommy Parchman was the 24th sheriff of Houston County. And Kenny Barnes was the 27th. Sheriff Allison was 28, and I'm 29. And Mr. Parchman's still here. And I said, Kenny, he couldn't make it tonight, but he's in favor of the book. He knows about it. He just couldn't make it. And we've all signed it as sheriff. Once a sheriff, always a sheriff to me. And I thank Darrell for taking the time to come up here and present this and just listen. What do you got to listen? This book goes back to 1871. And there's a lot of names, but believe it or not, there's a Frank sheriff one time, probably some of your people.
That's when everything was one legal.
Yeah, he worked hard. But anyway, on behalf of Sheriff Allison, Sheriff Barnes, Sheriff Parchman, and myself, we'd like to put this in archives and serve it. And we're gonna try to look, see if we got some more stuff to bring in and to do that. This is, every sheriff in 95 counties is covered in this, go way back, there's a lot of history, every page has a Bible verse on it, it's real Christianity, they put a lot of Christianity in it, and it was, it's really a nice book, and on the part of the sheriffs that's in Houston County, we want you to have it.
Thank you. We'll get a picture of this here.
Thank all y'all for giving us time to do that.
Thank you, sheriffs. I used two names tonight. Next under there is, we got Rotary Club and Chris McCaskill. I'm gonna bring Chris up first, if it's all right. She's, come up front, Chris. This is her last meeting with us, I guess, unless she comes back to the June 11th meeting. But, we have a little something from the commission. I got 4 veterans on the Houston County Commission. I'd like for y'all 4 to present this to her, please. I'm a little older than Chris. We went to school together. It's been a long time, but we appreciate what you've done for the school system. Is everything perfect? Probably not, but we're about as close as we're gonna get. I want to present that and just read it to her, and
I was kind of like your employee. You was amazing. I appreciate that I was under you as an SRO. It's my first job as a sheriff's deputy as well. And I learned the ropes from you. That's awesome. I appreciate you. Well, it says thank you for 35 years of outstanding and dedicated service. The citizens of Houston County are forever grateful for your efforts on behalf of the students, from the Houston County Mayor and Commissioners, 2024.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you all. And you know, it's the whole community. And as you're seeing tonight with Rotary, Archives, the sheriff, the commission, it's a we. It's everybody works together for our school system, and that's, you can't do it alone. In our community, I've been here all my life. It was an honor and a privilege to serve in my community. So I appreciate all the support. Thank you.
next is the Rotary Club. If you belong to the Houston County Rotary Club, please come up front. We got a president here, Miss Betsy Ligon. I think our vice president is Mr. Camden Lang. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, and he'll be president.
And we got several members from the Rotary. We got
Jeff Schellenberger.
we've actually the commission and
Conwell, Justin Broadbent. Yeah. All of our members.
we've the commission and
You.
And you.
yeah, I belong to the. I used to think I'd always heard about the Rotary and I didn't know what it was. And Mr. Jimmy Lowry invited me to come, and
That's right. Seth was our honorary. He's done so much volunteer.
Now, what you've done for us, yeah.
Mr. Jimmy invited me to go to the meeting, and I really didn't know a lot about the Rotary, but before, when I first walked in there, I seen the food. I knew it wasn't too bad. I thought, well, this is a pretty good little gig here. So the Rotary does a lot for Houston County. I promise you, a lot. This project they just finished up here, probably as good as you'll find anywhere. And I give Dustin credit. Dustin make a good supervisor for somebody. If anybody needs a supervisor, hire. He work night shift. He can't work in the day. But they all pitch in. I mean, they're a great organization. Seriously, and great to help the community and help people too. I mean, seriously, all of them are good. I mean, seriously, real good. And Howard, I'll let you, since you're the chairman, give it to the president. This is just a little something from the commission and the mayor.
Okay. We'll step out here. I'd like to add my 2 cents to that as well. The Rotary Park up there is definitely a great thing that you've done for the county. I will have to say that when we're doing the Parks and Recreation grant, they were so impressed with what you've done. They came back later and took pictures of it to use it as an example of how the community should work with the local government. With that, in recognition of the Rotary Club of Erin, the county mayor and commissioners hereby thank you for your continued development and beautification of Rotary Park on behalf of the citizens of Houston County. And thank you so very much. We appreciate it.
Very good. And let me just recognize Dustin Broadbent. He has been the chairman of this project and just undying. I mean, night and day, he's been down there making sure everything went off and planning it out. So just wanted to recognize.
And I want to thank, we have Miss Chris McCaskill here with us, and I know she was just up here, but just want to thank the school system. They've been so hospitable from day one on all 3 phases. And they just recently approved our phase 3 project, which will be restrooms at the park, and could not have done it without their support. And Seth Rye, I want to mention him. He was so kind to sit down with us at the very beginning of this and put together an ADA assessment, and just did so much. And we wouldn't be standing here today without several people. We could go on all day, but I want to specifically thank both of them. They were just so phenomenal throughout. So truly appreciate you guys.
Before we step away, can we all get really close and then get a picture? Seth, Cam, everybody get in here.
Yeah, come on, John.
Goodness gracious. You think you look shorter than Ernie?
I like a video with Glenn at it. Done now? That should be it.
Next on the agenda, we've got Kinder Morgan gas line discussion, approval of Kinder Morgan easement. I went blank on your name. I call him the tall hog. So come on up and let you talk to the commission for a couple of minutes, please.
Where would you like me?
As long as you can address him anywhere you want to be.
Okay,
Floor is yours.
it's all right? Sure. Okay. I'm gonna pass, if you can pass those around. I'll take Tall Hog, that'll work.
You're the tall hog.
Also known as Alan Ford, Vice President with Kinder Morgan. And I'm here to talk about our Cumberland project and the easement that's up for consideration this evening. We've been talking about this project for almost 3 years. We had an open house here in Erin in January of 22. And somewhere around that time, some of you may remember, I addressed this group about the possibility of our project. And since that time, we have been going through the processes of permitting and right-of-way acquisition related to the project, which I'll update you on today. Anybody else want to?
I have one man show.
This is a proposed natural gas pipeline for the specific purpose of providing natural gas to the Cumberland fossil plant as it's being retrofitted for natural gas. This is a TVA sponsored project, so we were doing this in coordination and cooperation with them and to the specific designs of what they need for natural gas to the plant. This will connect to an existing infrastructure system that we have in Dixon County and terminate in Stewart County. It's a 30-inch pipeline, about 32 miles long. Here in Houston County, we have 9 miles of pipe. That'll be part of the project. We are, for a significant amount of the project, co-locating with other existing infrastructure. And as I mentioned, we've been going through the permitting process and land acquisition process. So we're about 90% acquired with land acquisition. And most of our permits in hand. This is a federally regulated project. So the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has ultimate authority on it. We have received approval from that commission, and as well as a number of state of Tennessee agencies. So we hope to start construction the fourth quarter of this year, and be in service approximately a year later, a little less than a year later in 2025. So as part of the land acquisition process, what that means is we ask for an easement over property. That's a 50-foot permanent easement, a 75 additional construction easement, which reverts back to the property owner once we're done with construction, and we do pay for that easement, and that's negotiated individually with each landowner. And in the county, we have, I think, around 45 parcels approximately. And one of the locations that we're passing through, we'll be constructing the pipeline on, is in the industrial park. So we had a couple of meetings with the industrial park to talk the specifics of the easement and the easement language, which also the county attorney has been part of, as well as the mayor. And that was approved by the industrial park board, which a few of you were part of, about a month ago approximately. And Stewart County approved that easement a couple of weeks ago. So now Houston County is the final piece of approval of that. We'll be paying a $50,000 fee divided between the counties for that easement, and that'll be payable upon our completion of the approval of the easement. I think I've covered the main points. Happy to answer any questions. But again, this project is all about and providing natural gas to the plant at TVA's request. We're building and operating the infrastructure to get the natural gas to destination, which is generally what we do as a company. Anything else?
Y'all got any questions for?
It's coming right down the TVA power line,
Yes.
and when it comes off the hill there, then it's crossing 149 and crossing right there.
Right.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the Kinder Morgan easement to the industrial park.
I'll second.
Second,
Motion in a second.
6 foot deep.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have lights to go across like we
Right.
discussed.
But don't think nothing ever can be built over top of it, right?
Permanent structures cannot be built on top of it. We're burying it deep enough to the question that was just asked, so that you can move equipment and other things across it, and we'll have a designated crossing for that. But permanent structures or longer to trees are the two primary prohibitions for the right of way.
Where it's at, it probably never enter any building in the future though.
The way this now bridge here is coming in right in between Reservoir Lewis and the.
Tell him where it's going there, Mr. Allen, when it crosses 149.
Yeah,
please.
let me,
Go right next to I-9 and sort of that.
you have this map here? Oh, you do have that, okay. So that's, your description, your knowledge of that area is much better than mine, so.
You know where the sewer plant is, Robert?
Yeah.
When you pull in the sewer, you can look over and you can see where it would be going through right behind it.
It's gonna cross there and join Mr. Pitch's land. from the park.
You said 50,000 divided between the two counties, but it was 50,000 to each county. That's what was initially talked about in the shift.
That's the way I understood it.
No, 50,000 total.
The initial offer was 20,000 at the beginning, is that correct? And
20,000, I think it was.
it was 20,000, the initial offer was 20 at first, and he said the last meeting, and what I heard was 50, but to be split between the counties, but
That's what's in the document too, isn't it? And that's what was approved by the other two counties.
Did you also offer to buy the wetland between there and the creek?
Did we offer to,
No.
not that I'm aware of now.
No. What about the rock?
About the rock? So when we encounter rock, we'll grind it down. We still need to get down 6 feet crossing the property. We've constructed in every possible rock scenario that you can imagine here and across the country. So we'll get the right contractors to do it right and drill it down, grind it down.
I'm gonna hit a lot.
I expect we will.
I know I've got hay out there right now.
We're anticipating.
any other questions about the easement, the price, or anything? We got a motion, do we have a second on that? Second. Do a roll call vote, please.
William Agee.
Yeah.
Stephanie Smith. Randall French.
Yes.
Steve Hall. Glenn Baggett.
Yes.
Jonathan Floyd.
Yes.
Darrell Kingsmill.
Yes.
Howard Spurgeon.
Yes.
Vicky Reedy.
Yes.
Jean Tolley.
Yes.
Garrett Mathis. Fred Richardson.
Pass.
Is he passing his vote or is he saying, oh, he agrees?
I'm
Are
not
you
voting for it.
abstaining or?
You abstain?
Are you abstaining from the vote,
Abstain.
Fred?
Okay, I abstain.
Okay.
Carter Carey.
Yes.
Robert Parchman.
Yes.
It passes.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we had Bethesda. They came to our working body the other night. I don't think Mr. Thornburg's here tonight. We did get the defibrillators ordered. We did get him one too. Mr. Stanley got 9, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Got 9. They should be here
Next Thursday.
next Thursday.
I make a motion that we approve the previous discussion with Mr. Thornburg, including the $8,000 for the assistance.
To come out of the opioid money.
Yeah.
Second motion.
It, one thing, we may, we can give him the 8, would be a lot better if we could give it to him July 1st. We do have it, it would be better if we could get it on the New Year budget.
Whenever, makes no difference.
All right, thank you. Any discussion on the motion in a second? All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Tonight, we actually, next on the agenda is our new EMA director. I actually introduced him to the budget committee, but the whole commission has not. Mr. Bill Hall, if you want to stand up and tell us about all your hobbies and what you like to do, Bill.
Well, I've tried retirement twice and that both those failed, so I'm gonna kind of give up on that. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for putting your faith in me. I hope that I've never let anybody down. It's a big department to build up. EMA's been in existence since 1985, and it's changes every year. We get more involved in the communities, more involved in what we do. Dealing with managing and mitigating large-scale disasters to supporting emergency services agencies, EMS, law enforcement, fire, everybody. It's a big deal, and I appreciate the opportunity. It's gonna take me a while. I've been in emergency services since I was a kid, paramedic, firefighter, law enforcement, done it all. But this is new, and I've still got a lot of classes to take and everything, and looking forward to getting that done. I just want to get out there and make this the best I can make it. And one thing I'm gonna throw out there is I heard a good leader of this community make a statement one day in a conversation that if a tornado came through downtown here, he doesn't know what we would do. I want to build the EMA department to the point that he never has to say it again. I want this department to be there to manage everything and make us a safer place for everybody. So that's one of my goals. But I thank y'all for having me. I hope I do a good job for you.
Anybody got any questions for the new EMA director? Comments on him? Or he's really done a great job for this county. I promise you, he's done a lot of work in a little time. I appreciate him. Next on the agenda, we've got the resolution for 911 Yellow Creek Tower repayment.
Make a motion we approve.
You get a second. Any discussion on that? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Next, you got your health department bedroom grant amendment.
Make a motion approved.
Jonathan,
Make a motion approved.
second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, you got your health department bedroom change order.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
You need to say anything on that, Seth, while you're here?
Unless you need me to, Mayor.
If any commission needs it, anybody got a question for Seth? I forgot about him being here for that. He's been kind of overseeing the project and he keeps me up to date what's going on. Number 8, you got your EMA FY 2023 Homeland Grant, Security Grant.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
Motion in a second. Any discussion on that? And it does say 2023, they're about a year behind on those grants. They always are. Is that correct, Mr. Director?
Yes, sir. Actually, this year we'll be spending 2020 money, and then our next fiscal year around will start on 23. This year we've got $21,296, and then the next go round will be $19,551.
We haven't voted on it. We got a motion in a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 9, I think we made a motion the other night. Can I get a motion on the table in that?
I make the motion we move the youth service officer to 1st of July.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 10, we got an opioid advisory board. I will have it June 11th. I've got 4 picked so far. I need 2 more. I don't think we even have to make a motion on that, do we? Not till we get the board. Got the Rivers Resort funds update. We have about 50 or 55,000. We're actually doing some work down there now. We spent some of it. We cleared the sites on top of the hill. We did get that done before the rain moved in over the weekend. Contractor he's hauled dirt in there and he got it about leveled up. They should be bringing gravel. we will be talking to, Mr. McCaskill about, putting the septic and stuff in. So we're trying to get it done pretty quick, before the season's over. Personnel committee update,
Well,
okay.
Now, the Veterans Park Committee had a request in to use some of those River Resort Act funds.
Okay.
What the action are we gonna take on that?
Do we have a motion to accept, to do anything?
So I'll make the motion.
Right.
Specify what it wants.
I'll
What,
second.
how much and,
Put your motion in more specificity where they know what they're doing.
he handed the sheet out to me.
Oh.
And they know, I mean, he handed the
We had
sheet.
submitted a request, well, the Veterans Park Committee, and that is made up of both civilians and members of each of the veteran organizations here in the county. We sent a request to the mayor's office and requested, well, between $7,000 and $10,000. It depends on what you get, really. By way of equipment we thought the playground needed, such as a shade for the kids to play over the equipment while the parents sit in the cabana and whatnot. We've recently installed a handicap accessible grill, bucket and shovel for the ashes, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, there was nothing really serious, but at the same time, and a flag box, an outdoor flag box for flags that need to be retired. We've got several among the county, across the county, but they're not easily accessible. I mean, you've got to get out of your car, you've got to go into the courthouse or the library or the city halls, as it may be. So, we were looking for funds for that, so they could just drive up, drop off the flag and go.
Excuse me, but
I'm sorry?
let me make a suggestion on that as well. I mean, I second the motion.
Yes.
It's due to the short time frame we have on spending the money within this year. If you will amend your motion, and as soon as we hit the first of the new fiscal year, that would be approved, that it would come out of next year's funds.
Sure.
Then that way you can get everything, we can get everything in line and get it done in July.
That's fine.
I don't think we could get it done before June 30th.
Yeah, well, and that was part of the urgency, but, waiting until June, so I'll amend the motion to include the effective date of June 1st, next fiscal year.
I would second that.
Is there any way that, we could approve the flag box for outside under this year's budget, or do we need to wait till July? I'm fine either way, but, if you want to just wait and do it all in July, I
I
mean,
think we go with July the 1st as being, we do it all on July the 1st and make sure that we've got everything ready to go at that point.
if we don't spend all of our money by the end of June, or
We'll use the money there. It's in this year.
we need to put that in motion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're approving, but yes, you need some kind of, either a number or.
How much your dollar figure, Glenn, exact dollar figure?
Well, that's just it. I mean, we've got several examples. The low end is 7,000, the high end was 10. So $10,000.
You want to split the difference?
Sure,
85?
we'll do that.
So can you amend your motion that you're making a motion to approve $8,500 to be spent in 2025?
My motion is amended to proceed to next fiscal year for a maximum of $8,500 for the Veterans Park up at Tennessee Ridge.
Mr. Howard?
And if we have money left this year, we'll use it. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that is correct.
Is that correct?
I would agree.
Mr. Howard seconds that amendment.
Will you second that motion here?
I second.
Any discussion?
Well, I mean, I'm for all this, but I mean, it's on Tennessee Ridge property, so why can't you get them to give you more money to pay for it?
Well, they give us $1,000 a year, to make improvements up there. But obviously, $1,000 a year is not going to go very far. We're talking.
I mean, really truly, we're split with them. I mean,
We are.
truth about it.
Well, we are, and this is all the money the county's got invested up there right now. So, you know.
Have you spoken with them about upping your money?
Well, they're not gonna up the money, but this has all been approved by the city of Tennessee Ridge Council, city council already. We've talked to them about it. They said, you can do what you want out there. They approved, we've got, the American flag and, I'll call them decals, but they're not.
I know what you're talking about.
For each of the branches of service under the.
But if they are, I mean, I'm just saying this, and I may be out of term, but if they're actually in the master plan, the grant program, shouldn't they be adding that to their program since it's on their property?
When we met with the individuals doing the master plan, it was only to bring the park up to ADA compliance. It included $0 for equipment, which is all we're asking for. They wanted to, you know, we've got to replace the pea gravel. They're going to do that if they get the grant because it's not head compliant these days.
I agree with you, but the master plan guys, the county and the cities tell them what we want to do with the money.
They were very clear when we met with them last week. That it was only for ADA compliance. So all they were looking at right now. Maybe in a couple of years, I don't know, but right now, that was it.
Any discussion on this? Let's do a roll call vote, please.
Yes. William Agee.
Yeah.
Stephanie Smith. Randall French.
Yeah.
Steve Hall. Glenn Baggett.
Yes.
Jonathan Floyd.
Yes.
Daryl Kingsmill.
Yes.
Howard Spurgeon.
Yes.
Vicky Reedy.
Yes.
Gene Talley.
Yes.
Garrett Mathis. Fred Richardson.
Yes.
Carter Carey.
Yes.
Robert Parchman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion passed. Next, you got your personnel committee update.
Deputy's chairman, she's not here.
The chairman is not here, so
There's a couple of things that we need to maybe take action on to help this lady over here. It's brought to personnel committee's attention that they're not getting time cards or turned in or time sheets. They're not being signed and they're expecting her to go ahead and process. And it was the feeling of the personnel committee that she shouldn't do any time sheets that weren't signed by the supervisor. Correct? If I'm wrong on this stuff. That was number one. I'll make that form of motion because we're going to put it in the personnel policy.
Second.
got a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Anybody want to discuss that? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, you got your highway department fund balance resolution. She's not here tonight.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, you got your update, Houston County Youth Softball donation.
Motion we approve.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Any discussion on that?
How much was it, Mr. Howard?
2,500.
I think it's 2,500.
I believe so.
it'll be whatever we make it tonight. Is that what it is, 25? Do a roll call vote on that one.
William Agee. Stephanie Smith. Randall French.
Yeah.
Steve Hall. Glenn Baggett.
Yes.
Jonathan Floyd.
Yes.
Darrell Kingsville.
Yes.
Howard Spurgeon.
Yes.
Vicky Reedy.
Yes.
Gene Tolley.
Yes.
Garrett Mathis. Fred Richardson.
Yes.
Carter Carey.
Yes.
Robert Parchman.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Motion passed. Number
Joe,
50,
do you know if they ever got the cameras up there where they can maybe catch some of that stuff down if they tear them up?
they've got them. I don't know if they put them up. They do have them. And I'm pretty sure they've got them up. But I cannot answer that question 100%. I'm almost positive they got them up. Next on the agenda was Sheriff Sub Donation Archive. We actually moved him up with the other appreciation. Number 16 is was a discussion on a pay raise.
Make a motion that we move that to July so we can see the final budget for this year.
Second.
July. No, we will, but we can add it after the first of July.
Any discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed? Number 17 is a miscellaneous budget discussion. Anybody got anything on that?
I would move that rather than adjourning after we review the balance of the agenda, that we meet June the 11th to vote on the full budget.
June the 11th. I think Ms. McCaskill said they meet on the 10th. Is that correct, Ms. McCaskill? And that'll give to clean up their books and stuff, and we'll have everything from that. And that should have us set to vote on ours on the 11th. That'll be on a Tuesday night, the 11th.
No, I won't be here that week. I'll be gone. I'll be gone that whole week. So I don't matter. I'm just letting you know I won't be here.
Joy, his motion needs to put a time, like 6 o'clock.
Can you put the time on it, Mr. Howard?
6 o'clock.
6. Can I get a second on that?
Mr. Darrell?
Any other discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed? Next, you got your budget amendments and transfers. There's a few on the back too. Can I get a motion to accept, or you want to go through them? Sorry.
Last week when we talked about we added our generator, discussing our generator for number one.
Come out here, where I can't hear you. Sorry.
But at the meeting last week, we talked about adding, about the generator for the 911, the discussion for that
Uh-huh.
on there.
It's not, yeah, I put it on this.
I think we.
I put it on the old, I
On
put it
that
on
one.
the old one. I didn't put it on the new one. I'm sorry. We did discuss it last week. It was actually number 8 on the transfer of like 23 something.
And I have the information with me if you want me to tell you exactly what it is.
You can tell them.
It comes out to exactly $23,824.57. And that is basically like a turnkey deal. They will do everything. We don't have to hire anybody to do any additional work. And that also includes a 10-year warranty on the generator and a 5-year warranty on the transfer switch. So if anything happens to it in that time, we're covered on that.
Yellow Creek.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the only tower site we don't have a generator at right now.
Okay. Thank you.
I make a motion to approve all.
Second.
Including the new one.
It was on there last week. I added it last week. I put it on the old one.
It's on the original.
It was number 8 last week. It's added to the new one now. I added to the new one, Holly, I'm sorry. I had it on the old one. I got new agenda tonight. Got a motion and a second.
I'd like to amend my motion, please.
Okay.
Make a motion that we approve all and add to the agenda for tonight the generator for 911,
That will be number 12.
be number 12.
Yes, sir.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
What's number 6 to $20,000? Are you needing extra money? For the sheriff?
$20,000, Sheriff.
You don't have a second. They're going in.
Here it is. We got a second. Darryl did.
Darryl?
Yeah, Darryl second.
That's what it sounded like, Mr. President.
Just, Randall has asked what it's for.
That's to cover the excess bill. I think that's a good sign.
Yes, with our monthly statement, where it went up about $26,000, it wasn't added in.
It went up about 6,000, it wasn't added in when we done the budget.
I couldn't find the transfer.
It's in the new package. That's in the package.
Could you hear him, Randall, or could you hear him?
I'm fine.
Okay. Any other discussion on that?
What's the number 4 for?
That's the $7,000 where we've actually sent, I actually think we've had some cases where we've had to send some people away to Murfreesboro, is that correct? Or-
Yeah, that's the county type.
Yes, sir, that's on the.
That's on the juvenile, yes.
Yeah, that would be, this health segment, but anyway, what was a felony is called for detention, and my understanding is about $200 a day.
They actually charge the county.
They've already spent the 7,000.
Sir,
They've already spent $7,000.
I don't think it's got to that yet, but we don't know.
Here's this to the
We got
attitude.
to work on it again tomorrow, but, she might have just been looking down the road. I don't think it's got to that yet.
Oh,
It's like for the house and the juvenile.
Any other questions? Do a roll call vote.
William Agee,
Yeah.
Stephanie Smith, Randall French.
Yeah.
Steve Paul, Glenn Baggett,
Yes.
Jonathan Floyd,
Yes.
Darrell Kingsmill,
Yes.
Howard Spurgeon,
yes.
Mickey Reedy,
Yes.
Gene Colley,
Yes.
Garrett Mathis, Fred Richardson,
Yes.
Carter Carey,
Yes.
Robert Parchman.
Yes.
Motion.
Motion passed. Next, we have our reports, judicial commissioners report, fire department report, sheriff, library, and highway.
Can I make a motion to approve all?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, you got your public comments. I got Mr. Rye wants to comment, on the courthouse, the renovation. He's got a couple of things to show the commission.
Yeah.
I'll keep this brief, but as you know, the county received a large grant to expand the courthouse, right? And that was that public announcement. And I just kind of wanted to show you these are some of the conceptual drawings, and I'll leave these. It's going to be kind of hard for you to see them from here, but I'll leave them for you to look at. These are some of the concepts that were used in the grant application process to get that. Now, they're not set in stone. Once you go through the procurement process for engineers and everything on that, this can be changed around, but it shows you what we had to put together to get the grant, submit the grant for the county. So really proud that the county was able to get the grant. Just one of the, to kind of show you sort of a rendering of it, and I know this looks like the existing courthouse because this is what we tried to do to expand one side of this to kind of make that blend in. And we can pass this around. I know it's kind of small. We don't have a projector with us, but we're showing the courthouse being expanded out into the yard toward the Veterans Memorial, toward the walkway on the west end of the building. And I may just pass that around if y'all are good with that, and you can kind of look at it. That's a view from the outside. There's a corresponding set of floor plans. It will start with a basement level, which we plan on going ahead and making the basement level. It won't be finished out, but it will have a concrete floor and that. And then when you come up to the second level, there's an expansion westward there that will change around the way the county mayor's office looks, and will allow for a conference room on that floor. And then as you come up here on this floor, you'll also have that same footprint. And there's things like a bigger meeting room up here that can also be used for jury deliberations. There's also attorney rooms that can be used when clients want to meet with their attorney. Currently, right now, as any of you have been up here in court, people are just huddled around talking to their legal counsel, and there's not really any kind of privacy. And also, as part of the grant, there is those rooms can be used for telehealth. So if the public needs a place to come in and consult their doctor remotely, that's part of the grant, is to have spaces they can do that. So I will these floor plans again, they're going to be two. I can kind of pass them around. You can look at them, but this shows the three floors of the expansion. There's also some things too to do with making the courthouse more efficient. There's some lighting improvements that are proposed, and also some switches that will allow LED lighting to be controlled and to save some money there. And then there's also some areas of the existing courthouse that will be able to be renovated. I think about 900 square feet of that will be done in tying the new building together. So I will pass this around. Y'all take a quick look at that. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions. I know it's kind of an abbreviated time frame, but be happy to try to do that now, or you can feel free to contact me and I can come back.
Is this something you have to take bids on now, later, when you get it all established, or?
Yes,
You'll take the bids and then you'll come back and us to approve it, or is it already approved, you just do it, or?
Yes, sir. I will have to, we'll put together a contract and we'll get bids on it, and then we'll come back to that, and you'll come back to you all once we have that, select the contract. So, and the budget, it's a good grant. The budget's always going to be tight on something like this. These construction prices have been very hard to predict. But
What do you think?
What's that?
I said, what about the price?
I think the grant's for like close to 2.3, right?
$2,290,000.
Yeah, and I really think you're going to use every bit of that to do the expansion. You're expanding about 2,000 square feet on each floor. So you're adding about 6,000 square feet to the courthouse. And again, some of that's unfinished room, but I believe it's going to take every bit of that. And there's also some other features that the mayor wanted to see when we put it together, like some ADA access from the front of the building, and moving that around. We're going to also have some issues when we expand out here. We're going to have to make sure we get the ADA parking spaces make sure we still have those, and that's gonna come into conflict a little bit back here. So we're looking at moving that and out toward on the front end, have a handicap accessible front entrance to the courthouse also. So that's another.
At least 2, maybe 3, handicap on the other end of the courthouse. It's hard to imagine it, but it does look pretty good after they drawed it out.
Are they gonna dig into the bank off of that?
There will probably be some of that needs to be cut down, and maybe not as much as what we originally thought, because we were thinking that we would have to dig down back there, and that's where the extra parking would go. But it looks like maybe we won't have to do quite as much of that if we can put it out here.
I have a question regarding a lot of things that I do appreciate. There's like a lot of extra rooms and stuff like that for security purposes. When you have court, I've been to other counties and they have like a different setup. I don't understand, like you have a staff setup when you first go into the courthouse. And we have ours up here for court, and we try to direct civilians or people here for courts and like that, attorneys to this section over here, try to funnel them in. But is there a different way we could, or renovation of way to we could have more of a security basis of, I can't really say restrictions, but more or less, because it kind of has a grant as, because usually when we're having court up here, I understand the court officer situation is different, but is there a way we can have a different area for security or extra, or this grant can add extra security purposes or walls or anything to where, I like these rooms and everything, but we have to have a lot more security issues regarding the courthouse. Like I like to build upon that especially for judges, and you have a lot of individuals here, so it's a place for deputies. Of course, we're being here, but I like to turn the part more likely somehow to build more security situations to funnel it in that way. If you understand what I'm saying, like.
Yeah, I do. I think the time is right to actually make those modifications, because I think the floor plan that we have, like you point out, that's probably not. It's not taking that as the centerpiece. But I think these were just plans that we sent in to get the grant. But I think if there's some things like that, I'd definitely be interested in sitting down with you and getting your thoughts on it, and then we can try to work those in, to the.
So I like to be like very beginning of how to, because we have a lot of money here floating. We have a lot of important individuals inside this court, especially on the first floor. Of course, we got the mayor right there up on the first floor. We can at least somehow make more of a security accessible that way. When they first step in, they automatically know, because no one's actually watching waistbands. That must be guns in here. So unless you're law enforcement, so that.
Mr. Charles would like to say something on that, if you don't mind.
We were just discussing, the sheriff may be able to get something to help you out with the security of the courthouse if it's something that's required by the judges or the court. That may be a way to approach that. So.
I don't think this grant here will help you on your security out of it. Am I correct?
Yeah, I don't think it's tailored toward that, but if there are some things that we can look at to see what y'all want in that, and if we can do it and accomplish another purpose with it too, I think we can.
It's like more of a structured security type more or less I'm building.
I think your sheriff and the clerk is already working on something.
We trying to schedule another safety meeting with judges and all. I don't really think this is going inside of the building. There's extra grant. What we got out here, we got that off grant, and really, I don't think the grant would cover the security part.
If there are some things that we could do as far as flow of traffic that might help when we do, like put some of those security features in, we could start to look at. If you say, hey, it would be better if we had people come into let's say the county mayor's office from a certain direction and only have one way in, we can do those. So I'll be happy to. Be open to work.
I actually think that Miss Patsy and Becca and the sheriff is already working on one thing already. I know.
We have a date set, sir. We're going to get on it.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's good. And now's the time to be thinking about that stuff before we have the hard construction drawings, and we'll do what we can to accommodate, other things, as long as we stay in the grant scope where your money doesn't get.
I think the floor plans look amazing, so you do an amazing job. So.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a question in the new basement area. Is there any
any plans for a storm shelter, tornado shelter for the public?
Well,
There's nothing here.
yeah, we couldn't call it that in the grant. We did not call it a storm shelter. But what you're gonna have down there is about 2,000 square feet of unfinished basement with a concrete floor. So, I think that could be used once this thing is constructed. I don't see why the county can't address that then and figure out what they're gonna use it for. I just couldn't call it that in the grant application process. We just didn't want them to kick it out because of that. But that's what it'll be. And it'll be a very nice use of that space. We would have to have a basement in this really any way to make it work, just due to the grade of the site. So, I think it's a good use of that space. It could be used for a lot of things, including.
Yeah, this room will not be finished, the one in the basement. And I'm sure we can make it about whatever we need it to after the grant's over. But it will be
Have you got a time limit to build it once you get started?
December of 26. It's gotta be completed.
And I know what you're thinking. That's coming up quick.
Well, I mean, you better be getting the people to bid on it.
It's a little bit harder.
They don't turn very fast.
We do have a few channels to go through before we get to the bid.
I know that's been a frustrating thing with a lot of these projects because it involves some of that American Rescue Plan funds and everything has been.
Well, if it wasn't finished by then, could they pull their thing and not give it to you?
Well, I guess so. I mean, I'm hoping that if all the money is secured and you're almost finished, that won't be an issue, but you never know. So we're gonna have to make sure that we work toward that end date.
Was that something when you ever make a deal with somebody, you want to have some kind of bond about it, be bonded about it? If they ain't, they could, I mean.
I think you're right. I think you could put something also in that contract, where you'll have a bond, but you could put a deadline in there, and then have liquidated damages that would, help say, hey, if they are late, then they would have to be charged, so much per day, and that would encourage them to get it done on time. So, I think it's gonna be.
I actually think it has to be done before December of 26. It's like maybe September. Is that correct?
September is when they say, and then because it's the federal deadline is in to the state is in December of that year. So yeah, they really want it to be done before that.
So is everything flowing now, or is anything stopping us or something like that right now? Is it just besides the bidding?
Yeah, the next step that the county is doing is on, I think it's
Thursday.
Thursday. Mayor and the grant administrator sent out requests for qualifications for engineers. So you're gonna have to take those. We're gonna send one in, but you'll get them from all over, and y'all pick. Obviously we hope it's us, but you pick who you want to do that, and then once you've got that step, then you can move into design. So you do have a hurdle there to get over, but I don't think it'll be I don't think it'll be a big hurdle. It's just time. So what we've been trying to do is just in the background, just make sure that we've got some things to look at in case if we are awarded that, then we'll be ready to move quick. But I'm sure all the other companies that are interested in this would be wanting to move quick too. So
Tell them from today to how long before we break ground, if everything goes good. Next February.
I hadn't been too right on my dates when I've been telling everybody.
Next February, March.
I mean, that would be good if we could get it, if we could break ground by then. And I think that's when we need to be breaking ground by then.
Once you get all the paperwork, the construction goes pretty good, but the paperwork is terrible.
It is.
We got a sewer grant there with the sheriff, and
I know I've come before you before and told you, hey, I think it'll be going in May. I think the last time I said, I think it'll be in May, we'll be able to bid it out. Well, the state's been holding us up on that. They finally got through it. They questioned our route, that we changed to go through there a little bit. They said, well, y'all are tying into a pressure line. You can't do that. Of course, we proved to them that we could, and they backed off of that. And then they questioned who's going to own the line, and we said, well, the county's going to own the line. And, I think they would prefer that, like the city would own it. The city doesn't want to own it, so we got past that. And so like I believe we got approval on like May 9th or something to go ahead and do the design now. So that was all the preliminary stuff. So we're still going. And I'm probably gonna miss this, but, now we're targeting to try to bid this thing out in September. Instead of, we could have already been digging and get it going.
Next year for the finishing them.
Yeah. So they're gonna be compressed on that time. I mean, they're gonna have to get in there and work. But the route that you picked, which I think is still really good, it saved, once they do the construction, it won't take them nearly as long. It's about half the distance that it was gonna be originally. So that's gonna help in construction time, but.
So you didn't get the bids, I mean, somebody to do it?
We can't get them yet until we got released by TDEC. So I'm hoping we can get those. We'll be having it bid out in September and be able to get those and bring those prices back before you, and have a recommendation on a low bidder in September.
You haven't had any problems, have you, Sheriff? Very much. You haven't had any problem with your line here lately, have you?
We got in there and we got it anchored down now, and we got the welder and everything, we built our brackets and everything is anchored. When they cut on, they don't shake no more. So it's helped us a whole lot. We had trouble a while ago.
I know it's a different time, Bob, though, and we definitely want it.
Everybody's had trouble with out there.
Well, I thought in February we was ready to go by end of March, and it just, something keeps coming up and with the state.
Yeah, it does, and I hate to keep telling you dates because they haven't been right, but we're doing the best we can on it, and I appreciate y'all's patience. I know we're gonna finish it in time, but that doesn't help the situation if something goes wrong, so it's kind of a hard spot for y'all to be in, but we're working.
Any questions for Mr. Rye while y'all got him in the blind there? We appreciate what he does for us.
Thank y'all. Thanks for letting us work for you. We appreciate it. Thanks.
Any other public comments tonight? Anybody? Ms. McCaskill? If not, I need a motion to adjourn, please.
No, we're suspending the meeting
Yeah.
to the 11th.
Standing in recess.
Recess till 11th.
You're making a motion to recess to the 11th at 6 p.m.
Right.
Second on that. All in favor of that? Opposed? We'll meet at June 11th. You get that cut off, Cam. Hey, Cam, you get that cut off.
Yeah.
Thank you.